Dear friends, fellows and colleagues, welcome to HSC tutorial. Today's topic is how to use a fire extinguisher. I am your host Javed and you are watching Safety First. If you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe the channel, like and share the videos. Let us jump on the topic, the safe use of portable fire extinguishers. The question is, what should you do if you discover a fire? Step number one, pull the nearest fire alarm, or tell a coworker to pull it, or call fire brigade. Follow RACE, RACE, R for remove or rescue anyone from the immediate dangerous area. A for activate, activate the building fire alarm and report the fire. C, C for confine or contain the fire by closing all doors. And E for evacuate the building. This is a term normally used in the fire safety race. Let us look how to escape, knowing at least two ways out of every room, space and work area, noting the emergency exits in your work location, knowing the emergency meeting locations outside and away from the building. If your clothes catch fire, remember to stop, drop and roll. Step number two, decide, should you exit the building or should you use a fire extinguisher to extinguish the fire? If you hear a fire alarm, immediately evacuate the building. Go to a pre-arranged meeting location, emergency assembly point. Don't try to put out the fire with an extinguisher unless you have been trained and expected to use an extinguisher. Wait for the all clear signal before you re-enter the building. The only exception to leaving the building is when you have been specifically told you can do something other than evacuate the building. Specifically trained and expected to use a fire extinguisher. Let us make a short overview of fire triangle. The fire triangle is a simple model used to understand the ingredients necessary for most fires. Triangle illustrates a fire requires three elements: heat, fuel, and oxygen. Heat to reach ignition temperature, fuel, a combustible material to feed the fire, and oxygen to sustain combustion. Together they produce the chemical reaction that is fire. The fire is prevented or extinguished by removing any one of the three elements. Keep fuel and ignition sources separate. A fire naturally occurs when the elements are combined in the right mixture. If you are interested to know in-depth knowledge about fire safety or fire triangle, kindly click the link appearing on your screen. Let us look at the fuel classifications. Fires are classified according to the type of fire that is burning. Basically, what type of material is on fire: paper, grease, electrical equipment, etc. It's very important to understand the four different fire or fuel source classifications. Understanding this will allow you to correctly use the right fire extinguisher. If you were to use the wrong type of fire extinguisher on the wrong class of fire, you may or may not be able to control or even extinguish the fire. There are five classes of fire: Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, and Class K. Class A fire includes combustibles, wood, cloth, paper, plastic, and trash. Class B, flammable liquids, gasoline, oil, grease, tar, oil-based paint, and flammable gases. Class C, electrical equipment, computers, switchboards, switch gears, and overloaded circuits. Class D, combustible metals, magnesium, lithium, titanium. And Class K, cooking media, cooking oils and fats. Most fire extinguishers will have a picture label telling you which type of fire extinguisher is designed to fight. For example, a simple water extinguisher might have a label like this. Have a look in the photograph, which means it should be only used for Class A fires. Let us look. different type of fire extinguishers. As there are different types of fires, there must be different fire extinguishers to extinguish the fire. Different types of fire extinguishers are designed to fight different classes of fires. The three most common type of fire extinguishers are water, class A, carbon dioxide, class B and C, and dry chemical for class A, class B, and class C. Less common are dry powder, class D, and wet chemical, class K. If you feel as though your cooking area or have a metal workshop may need either of these fire extinguishers, please contact the safety office or the facility management for the provision of required fire extinguishers. Let us look in depth the specifications, the criteria, the details of fire extinguisher. Pressurized water, water type, pressurized water. This is useful for class A fires only. 2.5 gallon water at 150 to 175 psi, and its discharge time is up to 1 minute. Has a pressure gauge to allow visual capacity check. 30 to 40 feet maximum effective range for class A fire extinguisher. Water type extinguished by cooling burning material below the ignition point, taking away the heat element from the fire. Let us look what are the specifications of carbon dioxide. This is useful for class B and class C fire. This is 2.5 to 100 pound of CO2 gas at 150 to 200 psi, and it can be used in 8 to 30 seconds only, and its discharge time is 8 to 30 seconds. Depend on the usage and the strategy of user. Has no pressure gauge. Capacity verified by weight. 3 to 8 feet maximum effective range for CO2. CO2 extinguishes by smothering burning material, displaces oxygen. CO2 effectiveness decreases as temperature of burning material increases. Let us look. Multi-purpose dry chemical fire extinguisher. It is useful for class A, class B, and class C. 2.5 to 20 pound dry chemical. Ammonium phosphate pressurized to 50 to 200 psi by nitrogen gas, and its usage time is 8 to 25 seconds. Has pressure gauge to allow visual capacity check. The effective range of the fire extinguisher 5 to 20 feet only. Extinguishes by smothering burning materials. This separates the fuel from the oxygen in the air. Let us look. The fire extinguisher dry powder for class D. Sodium chloride, copper, or graphite based. Some handle multiple types of metals, others will not. The maximum effective range is 6 to 8 feet. Low velocity nozzles or discharges once apply agent gently to avoid disrupting finely dividing burning materials. Dry powder extinguished by cooling and smothering. Powder will act as a heat sink while forming a crust that cuts off the oxygen supply. The maximum time for the fire extinguisher is 30 seconds. Let us look class K fire. Fire extinguisher used for class K is wet chemical. 1.5 gallon of stored pressure PRX wet chemical extinguishing agent, and the discharge time is 40 seconds. The maximum effective range is 10 to 12 feet. Extinguishes fire by cooling and forming a foam blanket to prevent the fire from reigniting. Let us know about more type of fire extinguishers in addition to water, carbon dioxide, and dry chemical. Ammonium phosphate, sodium bicarbonate, and potassium bicarbonate. These all are used to expel onto the fire. These are the extinguishing agents. Pressurized water models are appropriate for use on class A fire discussed earlier. These must never be used on electrical or flammable liquids fire. Carbon dioxide extinguishers contain pressurized liquid carbon dioxide, which turns to a gas when expelled. These models are rated for use on class B and class C fires, but can be used on a class A fire. Carbon dioxide doesn't leave a residue. Dry chemical extinguishers are either stored pressure models or cartridge operated models. There are two types. The stored pressure models have a lever above the handle for operation. The cartridge-operated models require two steps. Depress the cartridge lever and then squeeze the nozzle at the end of the hose. The dry chemicals leave a residue that must be cleaned up after use. Ammonium phosphate dry chemical can be used on Class A, Class B, and Class C fires, but should never be used on a fire in a commercial grease fryer because of the possibility of reflash and because it will render the fryer's automatic fire protection system less effective. Sodium bicarbonate dry chemical suitable for fighting Class B and Class C fires is preferred over other dry chemical extinguishers for fighting grease fires. Potassium bicarbonate, urea-based potassium bicarbonate and potassium chloride dry chemicals are more effective and use less agent than sodium bicarbonate on the same fire. AFFF, aqueous film forming foam extinguishers coat the surface of the burning flammable liquid with a chemical foam. When using a foam extinguisher, blanket the entire surface of the liquid to exclude the air. Let us look the fire extinguisher anatomy. The parts of fire extinguisher. On the top of fire extinguisher, discharge lever, pressure gauge, not found on CO2 extinguishers, discharge locking pin and seal, carrying handle, discharge hose, data plate, body of the fire extinguisher, discharge nozzle, and discharge orifice. Dear friends, fire extinguishers are fire extinguishing agents, but fire extinguishers have limits. Portable fire extinguishers are not designed to fight large or spreading fires. Even against small fires, they are useful only under certain conditions. Let us look at the certain conditions. The operator must know how to use the extinguisher. The extinguisher must be within easy reach, in working order, and fully charged. The operator must have a clear escape route that will not be blocked by fire. The extinguisher must match the type of fire being fought. Extinguishers containing water are unsuitable for use on grease or electrical fires. The extinguisher must be large enough to put out the fire. Many portable fire extinguishers discharge completely in as few as 8 to 10 seconds. Fire extinguisher locations must be near exits. They are set at specific heights from the ground. Never obstruct access to a fire extinguisher. Be knowledgeable of the location and types of fire extinguishers in your area. This is the storage box for fire extinguisher, and on the left hand side designated emergency exit. In this fire extinguisher you can see a tag. This is inspection tag. This tag indicates that the fire extinguisher is in working order. In the beginning, we have discussed that there are two steps. Step number one, to evacuate, and step number two, to fight the fire. If you are planning to fight the fire, then you have to remember the term pass. P for pull the pin. A, aim low at the base of flames. S, squeeze the handle. And last S, sweep side to side at the base of fire. The first term was race, and this is pass. Race for rescue and pass for fight. Let us look how to use a fire extinguisher safely. Always stand with an exit at your back. Stand several feet back and away from the fire, moving closer once the fire starts to diminish. Use a slow sweeping motion and aim the fire extinguisher nozzle at the base of the fire. If possible, use a buddy system to have someone back you up or to call for help if something goes wrong. After putting out the fire, be sure to watch the area for a while to ensure the fire doesn't reignite. Let us know how to use fire extinguishers safely. Pull the pin. First P. This will allow you to discharge the fire extinguisher. The pin prevents the fire extinguisher from being accidentally discharged by squeezing the handle. A. Aim at the base of fire. Hit the fuel. If you aim at the flames, the extinguishing agent will fly right through without stopping the fire. S. Squeeze the top handle. Squeezing the handle opens a valve. that releases the pressurized extinguishing agent from the fire extinguisher. And the last S, sweep from side to side until the fire is completely out. Start using the fire extinguisher from a safe distance, 6 to 8 feet. Then slowly move forward if possible. Once the fire is out, keep an eye on the area in case it reignites. If the fire goes out, stay near. It might flare up. If so, put it out again or evacuate. If the fire doesn't go out, simply evacuate. Most extinguishers only last about 10 to 18 seconds. Dear friends, fellows and colleagues, you are watching Safety First, and today's topic is how to use fire extinguisher. Always remember, some extinguishers like water can blow burning grease out of the container to new areas to ignite. Smother grease fires in the container pan. Don't attempt to carry burning pan out of the building. Don't use water on grease fires. Resist temptation to use extinguisher on person on fire. Smother clothing fire. Never use water on a fire unless you know what is burning. Water conducts electricity, which could spread problems and cause electrocution and shortening of the equipment. Let us look the guidelines for firefighters. Fires can be very dangerous, and you should always be certain that you will not endanger yourself or others when attempting to put out a fire. For this reason, when a fire is discovered, assist any person in immediate danger to safety if it can be accomplished without risk to yourself. Don't put yourself in danger too. Call fire brigade or activate the building fire alarm. The fire alarm will notify the fire department and other building occupants. If the fire is small, and only after having done these two things, you may attempt to use a fire extinguisher to put it out. Before deciding to fight the fire, keep the following things deeply in your mind. Know what is burning. If you don't know what is burning, you would not know what kind of fire extinguisher to use. Even if you have ABC fire extinguisher, multi-purpose, there may be something in the fire that is going to explode or produce toxic fumes. Chances are you will know what's burning, or at least have a pretty good idea. What if you don't let the fire department handle it? Is the fire spreading rapidly beyond the point where it started? The time to use the fire extinguisher is at the beginning stages of the fire. If the fire is already spreading quickly, it is best to simply evacuate the building or the fire area. As you evacuate the building, close the door, if there is one, behind you as you leave. This will help to slow down the spread of smoke and fire. The final rule is to always position yourself with an exit or means of escape at your back before you attempt to use a fire extinguisher to put out a fire. In case the extinguisher malfunctions or something unexpected happens, you need to be able to get out quickly. You don't want to become trapped. Dear friends, never fight a fire if you don't know what's burning. The fire appears too large to handle with one extinguisher. The fire is spreading rapidly beyond the spot where it started. You don't have an adequate or appropriate fire extinguisher. You are unsure of the proper operation of the fire extinguisher. You doubt that the extinguisher you are holding is designed for the type of fire at hand or is large enough to fight the fire. You might inhale toxic smoke and you have no safe egress route without exposure to fire. The fire could block your escape route. You are not aware of company evacuation procedures and emergency escape routes. And lastly, don't attempt to fight the fire if you are not trained for it.